Hi, I'm Dale and welcome to Spotted Motors. Today we are joined by Tom and his Fiat 126, which is hiding a little secret. Find out that in a minute because I'm going to grab the camera, Tom's going to show us around the car, and hopefully the weather stays relatively dry-ish and we can go out for a spin. Awesome. Cheers Tom, let's grab the camera. So Tom, first off, nice to finally meet you. Come across your car in Hertha one day.
Yep.
Took some sneaky photos of it, and then we sort of met on Instagram. So yeah, thank you very much for agreeing to meet us. We are at Willowbridge service station today,
Beautiful.
which is an absolutely awesome backdrop for photos and everything like that. So I'll pester you for them once we have a what on the car. So yeah, just introduce a car and tell us a bit about it.
Okay. This is my 1989 Fiat 126. I've had it for about 4 years now. It's been a constant project, it's always been getting a little bit better. 4 or 5 years ago, I always knew that I wanted a small, strange car. I had a few Beetles before, and they were very enjoyable, but I wanted something a little bit non-mainstream, I suppose.
Yeah.
Something a little bit, I guess, weirder. And I'd had an eBay search set up, Fiat 126, and just waited to see what happened, see what the net pulled in. And luckily enough, this one came up. It had pretty much all the work done. It had an MOT, it was running daily, ticked all the boxes, had probably 3 weeks of chatting with the seller. I said to him, I'll just give you the cash.
Yeah.
And I'll don't worry about it, I'll give you the cash and I'll take it.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you've got to come and see it.
Yeah, this is, I like
reasonable.
that as well.
Yeah, cool. Went to go and see it, obviously cash in hand, did it immediately, then had a look. Took it out for a drive, loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. And so got it back, immediately stripped it into pieces.
As you do.
Why wouldn't you? All the glass came off, all the panels came off, rubbed it right back. It did have the red and the black, but it was...
Oh, so it was red and black when you
It
bought
was,
it?
yeah, it was. It was red and black, so rubbed it all back and got a paintbrush out, a little bit of Hammerite, a little bit thinner.
Yeah.
And painted her up. And I do think that you should be able to do that with a car that you want to enjoy, so you don't worry about dinging it or scratching it or somebody else coming in. Like somebody's driven into the back of that before. I just got the back panel on a pallet and just hammered it back out
Started again, yeah.
Yeah, like I think you've got to. It's not a show car and it's not a princess. You can't.
And like you said, you use it every day. And when I messaged you, I said, "Is November okay?" And you sent me a photo of a Christmas tree on the roof. So it's a daily, isn't it? It's
absolutely,
not it's not a summer daily.
No, absolutely not. I need heated seats now, definitely. Which is on the list. I've got the bits. So like you say, driving it every day. Just a couple of bits that I'll show you in the engine and suspension and bits and pieces that are a bit non-standard. Yeah. I think probably if you had one of these now, it would be a bit sketchy driving it day to day, because I think one of them, I don't know if it's this water-cooled version, but one of them had a 0-60 of 59 seconds.
Yeah, which is...
It's dangerous.
Slip road. It's hard,
yeah, you don't want that. Yeah. You don't want that. Yeah. So it can keep up with modern traffic now, which is important. You've got to have a little bit of fun as well. So, shall we have a look?
Let's have a look. Get the hatch open.
Get the hatch open. Let's start at the back.
So you say this was one of the originally water cooled?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
do you know what size it was? Was it in the?
I think it was 750.
Yeah.
Or 6. One of the air cooled was 650 and the water cooled was 750. I think.
Yeah.
But the nice bit is that it's got a heat exchanger heater, which is
big thing.
Luxury. True luxury.
Yeah. So what are we playing with now?
This is a 8-valve 1.1 from a Seicento, and it's got a MF2 piggyback injector controller and a Garrett T15 running about half a bar. No intercooler, the shortest exhaust you can fit, and that's it. A few little bits and pieces. The engine, there's a few bits inside, like the pistons were milled down 2mm to reduce the compression ratio. Because like I say, I want to drive this every day.
Yeah.
It's got a different cam in it. It's come from a 866, so it's a bit more aggressive cam, but still get it on eBay for 30 quid kind of thing. Yeah, fuel pump, single injector, extra injector. Yeah, it does all right.
Yeah.
It does all right. Had to move the oil filter like off board because the turbo is exactly where the filter wants to be, which is obvious. Got to move that. Let's have a look.
There we go. Yeah, so now we've got that exposed. God, that is so cool. I absolutely love that.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's pretty cool. So you can see it's almost a real engine. I had to lift this one out a little while ago, and we just humped it out, just 6 bolts down the drive on a pallet, which is nice. That's a nice way to be able to work. Obviously you can see it's got a blow-off valve, turbo boost pipe, little baby T15 turbo down there.
I'll get in there.
Yeah, of course.
Get the torch on. Because you want to see it.
It's underneath all the water pipes.
And there's obviously a remote oil as well.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's only oil, no water into that one.
It's so cool. And you won't know any sort of figures on it or anything like that, will you?
No, certainly not. The no intercooler T15 turbo running this pressure was supposed to be between 90 and 110 horsepower, and I'm going to say conservatively probably 90 horsepower.
Yeah.
On a cold day, probably 100. No intercooler, no AFR tuning, so I'm just running it very conservative. Certainly overfueling. I don't want to find out on the A1 that I've melted something.
Yeah, of course.
And it makes me smile. I don't need that extra 10 horsepower.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Keep it safe and enjoy it every day.
Yeah. But we'll get on to what's next, where it'll be on the edge of safe on the next build in a bit. And that's coming up over the winter. So it's the 8-valve 1.1. It's got the Van Aken manifold turbo and extra piggyback injector kit. I've only ever seen one for sale on eBay, and I was stupid enough to get it. I knew I always wanted to put this on. When I bought the car, it had the engine but not the turbo.
Yeah.
And the engine was fine, and it brought it up to probably what was usable on the road, but it was fun, but it wasn't exciting.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite smart, because while it's got disc brakes up front, it's got no ABS, no traction control, no seat restraint system. You are the crumple zone.
It does look quite comfy in there.
It is pretty cool. it is pretty nice. It is pretty nice. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you'll see in a bit. It is very cozy. I had a shower today for you. So it is what it is. You can't fit any more engine in there. You can you can fit any Fiat Fire block in.
Yeah.
It's got a nice adapter plate. I think I'll just stick with that. People are always asking, why don't you put a high booster in it or something like that? And I'm like, well, I can't just it's too leery then, and you just never keep it on the road.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And the tyres are really skinny.
So tyre-wise and wheel-wise, were they already on it?
The wheels were on the car. They were not my taste at all.
Yeah.
I've grown to love them. They're not for me, but everybody who I ask says keep them on, they're really cool.
Yeah.
And I think they're probably worth more than the car, to be honest. They're worth at least 500 quid.
Yeah.
But yeah, standard tyre size, 155/65 13s. I'd love to get some banded wheels, banded 13s. That would look really good, but I want that extra width. I think I would love to roll the arches, get them out a little bit. I'm probably going to have to do that next year when we get a little bit more power in.
It sounds like we're going to be revisiting you next year now.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
I hope so. So yeah, so the body's pretty straight. It had a once over. I'm no welder and I'm no bodywork expert, but there were bits that did need to be sorted that got sorted. So had some pretty nice things, some little rust patches, some holes.
Yeah.
Had to get pretty quickly good at welding very thin metal. there was some blow-throughs.
Yeah.
We got there in the end, and you know what? Actually, I think back and I don't know if I could do that again.
Yeah.
I think it was luck than skill, but I got it. All of these bits were just holes, just pinholes all the way through.
Right.
And I knew if that came through again, there'd be a lot of tears. So I really spent probably about a day squaring away the two.
Make sure you get it right first time,
I had to, and then loads of good primer and loads of really thick paint just to get it protected as much as I could. Because I want to drive it. I don't want to work on it.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. And I don't want any excuse to not drive it.
Can we have a quick look inside?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Come on.
So it's about as basic as you get, really, isn't it? When it comes to sort of motoring, there's nothing in it
Yeah.
electrical at all.
No, not at all. The dash has got the most basic like feedback.
Yeah.
So it's got like LEDs or like actually I think the bulbs for like your lights and all that kind of stuff. But apart from that, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing else. I've put a boost gauge in.
Yeah, I'll get a closer look at
a
that.
couple of other gauges.
I do absolutely love it, though. I think it's so cool.
It's a lot of fun, and what is always surprising to me is that this was 5 seats.
Yeah.
This had 5 seats, and if you ever speak to anybody who grew up in Poland, they'll tell you that it's a 5 minimum. You can fit way more than 5 in one of these, and that makes me so happy to hear. But when I started messing about with this, I thought, let's just carpet it. Let's get those back seats out, because I know I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
you wouldn't want to put anybody through this.
No.
So just make it 2 seats, and
Yeah, I think it works well like that.
and yeah. Because you'll see in a bit that passenger seat is all the way back, so you'd be cutting off the circulation to the legs. There's no other way to do it. You can't. You couldn't comfortably do it, so just don't do it.
No.
But yeah, it's nice and tidy enough. Like I soundproofed and carpeted the floor and the ceiling,
Yeah.
because it was like a echo chamber.
Yeah.
And before it had the turbo on it, it still had pretty much the same exhaust, and it was twice as loud as this. The turbo really deadened the sound, which was great. I needed that.
And under the bonnet, you may as well have a look around it in depth.
Yep. So normally you'd have your battery in there,
Yeah.
but I'd love to be able to get the spare wheel in. Unfortunately, I've got a big radiator and fan in there now.
Yeah.
So
And never had any problems with cooling, nothing like that?
only in the height of summer, if you're really going for it on the motorway.
Yeah.
Because you've got because it's not got the proper tune in it, because it hasn't got an intercooler, your temperatures go.
Yeah.
But it's never boiled over. It always just kicks the fan in,
Yeah.
which is fine. I mean, the radiator is for the engine, but not for the turbo engine.
Of course.
So you expect it to be a bit hotter than normal. But no, it's never failed me like that. It's never let me down. I guess it's just too simple. It's just too simple to have massive problems.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think what we'll do, if we can, we'll go for a quick spin.
Yep.
The weather is not on our side whatsoever.
No.
But we'll do our best.
Yes.
And regardless of what the footage is going to come out like, I'm just going to be happy.
We're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I'll let you box it back up and then
Cool.
yeah. So you're right. This is very cosy.
It is.
And I don't think the sound quality is going to be fantastic, so we won't do a great deal of talking, but you'll see a lot of smiling, I suppose. I love it already. Just smile, constant smile. What a car. Just put it back in however you want, yeah. Oh, that smell. That's awesome, that. Absolutely awesome. Gets warm, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, I wanted to do a bit of talking on the GoPro there, but there was absolutely no chance of that happening. But hearing that wastegate, it was just phenomenal. Right? I've been in faster cars, I've been in better handling cars, but that, the second we set off, my smile, and I couldn't not help but smile. It is so much fun. It is absolute, like, it's just fun. And small cars just seem to give you more of an impact. Yeah. That turbo, just hearing that turbo, just doing its thing all the time that we're driving there, it was absolutely phenomenal. That is a car that it's going to take a long time for me to forget, because it's just fun, and I loved it.
That's the point of it. Yeah. That's the point of having it. If you wanted to go faster, it wouldn't be like that. It would have a much better engine. It would be better built. But you're right. It's fun. And you've got to enjoy it every day. You've got to enjoy it.
Yeah. I've got to thank you there.
Thank you.
That's really made my day. That has, not just my day, my weekend.
Class.
I've loved it. I've loved it. I remember when I first seen it, like I say, in Herworth, and the second I seen it, and I knew there was something about it. And now, finally going in it and having a spin out in it, and it's so shameful that the weather is dreadful. 2 hours earlier the sun would have been shining, but yeah, that is absolutely awesome. What we're going to do now, we're going to wrap up now. I'm going to thank Tom about 3 or 4 times, and then we're going to push it out and get some photos and stuff like that, because we're in such a cool sort of run-down abandoned petrol station, and then I'll leave you to it, but we have to revisit this. Yep, we 100% have to revisit this. We do see it with a lot of cars, but this is, I really do want to come back and see you again, see what you do. But yeah, for me, that is just smiling fun. Yeah, just loved it. Exactly what I thought it was going to be, and a whole lot more. The second I heard that dump, I was like, oh my god. So absolutely awesome. So yeah, like I said a minute ago, we're going to wrap up now. We're going to push the car out, get some photos, the best we can in the rain. But just thank you very, very much for watching. As I've said before, small channel, please give us a like, subscribe, it goes a long way for Spotted Motors. And Tom, I just want to thank you again. I've had an absolutely epic afternoon.
Me too.
And I can't wait to do it again.
Neither can I.
Awesome. So that just leaves us to say, as always, thank you very much for watching. I've been Spotted Motors. Tom, I'm going to thank you again, mate. That was awesome.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.